Well, hello there. This is Mark Ittleman, speech-language pathologist, and welcome to the Teaching of Talking and the Teaching of Talking training. These videos are designed to help educate you so that you can be an educated consumer and make the right decisions when it comes to helping your loved one if they have a communication or a speech problem due to aphasia, apraxia, or any other kind of speaking difficulty. The major focus of this particular video is going to be what you need to know in order to be successful in helping your loved one talk again. And one of the things that I continually see are caregivers or family members of those with aphasia very, very interested in attending these big college or big medical facilities that may have programs for aphasia that might last a week or two or three or four. And then what happens is the person with aphasia and their caregiver leave and go home. And quite often, the caregiver or the spouse isn't really involved in the whole process, isn't trained. And a lot of people online report that, gosh, these programs are very, very expensive, and gosh, I've been to the one in Boston, and I've been to the one in California, and I've been to the one to Chicago, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, while still their loved one is not really making that much improvement at all, because the family doesn't really understand the basics of what needs to happen in order for a person with aphasia to improve their speaking. They're not going to improve their speaking by going someplace for a month or whatever it might be, or 6 weeks, because quite often aphasia and apraxia may take a year or more to improve. And not only that, but if you can imagine someone building a house for you, a custom house, and what they have to do, what the building contractor has to do, is he has to start out and prepare the foundation and go through every single step of the process with all the different subcontractors to make a completed product. And that's what an expert speech pathologist does. He kind of finds out what the family wants, what the person with aphasia wants, and then starts at the very, very beginning and teaches the most basic fundamentals. And as the basic fundamentals are accomplished and the person responds to them, then it's time to go on to the next item, and then the next item, and then the next item, and then the next item. And quite often, there may be 50 or more steps that have to be reviewed and taught to the person with aphasia in order to help them speak better, or the person with aphasia and apraxia. Now, if you have aphasia and apraxia, that's a double-edged sword, because an apraxia takes a different set of tools and an aphasia takes another different set of tools. Now, if you have an expert who you're working with, then that expert, if they know how to improve an apraxia and they know how to improve an aphasia, quite often they can work with both difficulties simultaneously rather than just doing one particular type of therapy until they reach a certain level, which very frequently happens, by the way. The other thing I want to state to you is how important a key person is in the treatment of aphasia and apraxia. Now, since it's a long duration type of problem to correct, you've got to find a person, an expert, who knows both of these problems and knows how to correct both of those problems and is available to you. Now, I remember when I worked in hospitals and rehab centers, we'd have a person who was a very good therapist, and they'd be there, and then they'd transfer. Maybe a husband transferred or a wife transferred, or maybe somebody in the family got sick. But whatever happened, there was a lack of continuity of care. And that's another one of the really important aspects of care is continuity, that the person with aphasia and apraxia should be seen by a single individual, not someone with multiple therapists, especially not multiple speech therapists, because that's like having more than one cook in the kitchen at Thanksgiving. You don't want that. In fact, I just spoke with somebody this week who had two therapists, and she decided that she wanted one therapist to do the work, and that way the conflict or differences in opinion would be nullified. You want somebody that you can trust, somebody who will call the shots, teach you what to do, who will be there every week to help you, and then will be there not only this week, but next month and next year. So, you can talk about all these fancy schmancy hospitals and everything, which are very good, don't get me wrong, but there usually are turnover, there is turnover in personnel, and in addition to that, a lot of these major hospitals train therapists. So what happens is that you might have a loved one who's undergoing therapy with someone that doesn't have all that much experience. And so just remember, find yourself an expert. Find an expert you can trust. If you see that that expert is really helping you a lot, then hold on to that expert. And that expert should stay with you and provide you with the necessary training to teach you what to do at home so that you can do that on the intervening days between therapy. And just remember that whether it's aphasia therapy or apraxia therapy, all of them may have 50 or more steps that you have to learn and go through. But you can't go through 50 steps all at once. You have to start with one step at a time. And as you master that, then an expert can teach you the next step in your path or within your goal of helping a loved one speak better. This is Mark Ittleman, speech language pathologist. I hope you've benefited from this little short video. Down below are a bunch of links. If you'd like to be personally mentored and would like a free Get Acquainted visit, there's a link down below the video. Or if you'd like to order our book, The Teaching of Talking, which will help you learn the steps to help a person with aphasia, that's there. And there's also a book that we've written on apraxia. So just know that we're here to help you. There's also an email address so that if you want to speak to me or contact me, or if you have any questions, you can do so. So we hope that you've liked this little video. If so, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe and share this YouTube channel with others who would greatly benefit from the information that we have to share. So thank you very much. We hope you have a great day today. We hope that you have a great week, a great month, a great year, and of course, a great lifetime. Bye-bye now.